What's up, y'all? This is Henny. And listen, man, I asked y'all over the weekend on all the social medias, what are your questions that you've been wanting to ask your boy? And hey, you got questions, I got answers. This is Henny's Summer 2020 AMA. Let's go!
The business.
Listen, Apple is on point. I broke the glass in this iPad mini 5 yesterday if you didn't catch the video. And got the box, sent it back out, and hopefully I will get this back in the next week or so. So, there's no genius appointments, and we're just going to make sure it's right. We're just going to make sure I get back to using one of my favorite devices. Let's go.
First question comes from jmars.wave. He asks, best DAW for beginners. Best DAW for beginners. I'm going to tell you this. I've said this before. I truly believe if you're just starting out, music production, music composition, anything like that, start with GarageBand. GarageBand, specifically on iPads and iOS, has so many ways for you not only to learn, different instruments, learn music sequencing, learn programming, drum programming, chords, the different ways to put beats and music together, and it has all the tools already built in. So I would definitely say use GarageBand to start out. And from there, you can either go the Logic route, or you can, if you're still on iOS, you can use something like Cubasis. Maybe you want to go to something like Beatmaker 3. So start with GarageBand. All right, next question comes from a man, Mendez Life Project, and he says, using iOS, iPadOS, ever make you feel less mobile due to all the extra peripherals? And it depends, right? If you want to really load up your device with, interfaces and mics and, a lot of cords here, dongles there, yeah, you're going to start to get bogged down, and you're going to start to feel like I might as well just have a laptop because this thing doesn't feel as good to be moving around. But there's a lot of different ways that you can use iOS, iPads, in music and actually in video editing and everything else without having to bulk yourself down with all these dongles. I've talked about it before where, you might have a single dongle that might help you for the specific task at hand, whether you're trying to plug up a keyboard and a mic, whether you're trying to just listen to some, headphones with no latency, or you're just trying to import your footage and get to editing. Try to make it as nimble as possible. And I always say, go for what works for you as far as your workflow and how you like to get things done. Because after that, it's just about going and getting to it. And being able to have a device that, you can get your stuff in there and literally just take everything out and just start working. That's why I love the iOS system. And, iPads and iPhones, you can really bulk them up. But, hey, it just really depends on how you like to work. It doesn't bog me down at all. Next question comes from Luana Verrett. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. From your experience working in the industry, what are some do's and don'ts of networking? Okay, let's go into it. The biggest thing about networking is understanding that the relationship is going to take time. It's not a simple, can I do something for you? Can you do something for me? The biggest part about networking is trying to build a colleague, trying to build somewhat of a friend. And you do that by consistency and not being so bombarding with your ask at first. Don't ever start networking and start a new relationship with trying to just ask somebody for something. Ask what you can do for somebody. You should always start off with that. And take it slow, take it simple. Build a relationship over time. And when you know when it's the right time to ask for something, it's because you guys have built that relationship. Don't ask, can we work? Can we get together? Can we vibe? Can we collaborate? When a person doesn't know you, they don't care. So that's a simple, easy way to start networking. And the biggest thing to do, is ask somebody to talk about themselves. How did you get started? Or, just ask them something simple, specifically if it's on like social media. You know what I mean? The biggest thing about that is you want to make the answer be something that can be very, very short. So that's basically what I think about networking do's and don'ts. Doing it simple, doing it easy. All right, Phil Rufino asks, what's something you learned that you can share with someone starting video editing? Now, one of the biggest things you got to realize is your rhythm, right? The way you talk, the way you edit, the way you like your music, all of that is a part of something that you do with video editing. You got to get into your own rhythm. You got to be able to figure out what feels good for you and not just what somebody else does that you think is cool. Whether it's doing a lot of transitions, whether it's just doing cuts, whether it's doing super long form, it's going to be your rhythm. The more that you do it, the more you get into your rhythm, the more that you start to master your own style. That's basically it, you know? The biggest thing is just getting to it and making sure that you stay at it enough to be able to catch that rhythm, to catch that vibe, to be able to catch your style. The next black billionaire asks, have you ever thought about doing an album like DJ Khaled? You know what? I have many years, you know. I would say 20, 25 years ago, I would have thought I would have had multiple albums out by now because I was trying to rap, I was trying to sing, I was trying to produce, I was trying to do it all. You know, I've always thought about that. I've always thought about, you know, should I drop an album? I have so much catalog music, I have so many things. I won't say never, but right now I'm just not focused on it. So that's what's up with that. That's basically it, you know. The biggest thing is just getting to it and making sure that you stay at it enough to be able to catch that rhythm, to catch that vibe, to be able to catch your style. Max3 Ellis, my bad if I messed up that. You asked, should you send record labels a mastered or unmastered version of your track? Should you assume that the record label will master your track for you? All right, if you're sending beats to record labels, just send them the best way you can possibly get them. Loud, bumping, thumping, the best way you can. Don't try to spend so much extra money trying to get it mixed and mastered before you send it to somebody, because there's always going to be a process when it gets to an artist and that artist wants to put it out. The label is going to take their engineers, or the artist is going to use their engineers that they like, and they're going to mix it. The label's going to get their mastering engineers to do it, and they're going to be able to do it exactly the way they want. So don't worry so much about getting it so perfect, just getting it sent to a label. And 9 times out of 10, my 20 years of experience working with the artist manager always get you better results of getting records and songs that'll come out over and over time versus sending it to a label. So that's my take on that. Don't worry so much about that. Man, it's hot as hell. Trying to do it a little different, y'all. I'm on the Sony ZV-1. It's a hot day, I'm gonna be honest with you. Hopefully I'm not completely blown out here, but yeah. Kari_dreams asks, A7S III or Canon R5, R6? Man, listen. These cameras today are getting so good. I can't say which one. Now, I've jumped on Team Sony once again, realizing that I've always kind of been a Team Sony kid since maybe I was 19 and I got my first handy cam. You know, R5, R6 versus A7S III. Honestly, man, it's just making sure that you can get video out consistently. Unless you're really a filmmaker and trying to figure out the best ways to do, you know, the most cinematic stuff. I'm using the ZV-1 and having a great time with it right now. And yeah, I don't feel like the quality is faulty or anything. It's working. I got a little bit of shallow depth of field. My dynamic range is all right. So, hey, but if I gotta choose, I'm hoping the Sony A7 III will be a beast in the next week or two when it's fully announced. But that R5, R6 is crazy. John Castillo asks, the year is 2045. What's your go-to piece of tech? Well, let's see here. In 2045, I will be 65. Hopefully, it will be some type of wearable or something that is like, I don't know,
yeah, it'd probably be some type of wearable that can do it all. Something like eyewear or something like a watch that'll control everything through some type of, I don't know, one piece in the ear, something really ridiculous. Because let's be honest, we've only had the iPhone for 12 years. And let's just see what 25 years from today would get us. Man, possibilities are completely endless. So I don't know, man. I think it's definitely something wearable. I think it's definitely something small, light, something that you can have with battery life that lasts weeks or something crazy. So yeah, that's my thought. I got to go back inside, y'all. I'm hot as hell. So iOS Music Beginner asks, what's your 2020 music production setup? This is how I'm rocking in 2020. Down here you can see I have the Nectar Panorama 61 key. Had this forever. Works incredibly well. Going into my iPad Pro 12.9 2018 version with the USB hub from Pergo. I also have a plug here if I want to use my iPhone or my iPad mini. And for monitors, I have the iLoud MTMs, which are incredible. And I also have the iLoud micro monitors. For my mic, I have the Shure SM7B. And, I still got the trusty Audio-Technica ATH M50s. And, if I'm going portable and mobile, I'm using the Shure MVI. And this is just how I'm rocking. I get my ideas going and I vibe here. And this is the look. This is the setup. And yes, I'm at it a lot right here. So, all right, man. Just like that, less than a week, I got my iPad mini back. Listen, shout out to having Apple Care. Shout out to, the fast customer service. I sent this out, I believe, on Wednesday. It is Monday. Got it back and ready to get this thing back and ready to get popping. Let's see what happens. All right, so Augusto Williams asks, 1, do you teach music production to beginners? If so, how can I get connected? 2, which artists were most surprised to have worked with in the past, and what's your next moves? A lot of questions there, brother. So here, the first thing is, do I teach music production courses? And I actually teach on a collegiate level at my alma mater, Morehouse College. I teach music production and recording sciences as well as online branding. But I'm actually working on a master class and course for my branding website, so look out for that soon. As far as it relates to which artists were most surprised to have worked with in the past, man, it's hard to say. It's quite a few that have just, been really, really wild to work with. Sometimes in the beginning stages, sometimes when they're actually completely jumping and popping. But, working with the Black Eyed Peas and will.i.am was a very eye-opening experience back then in late 2000s. And what's my next moves? Just have to wait on it, fam. All right, Javier Pineda says, Henny, is Apache's Hype Mic the definitive mic to create music or songs on the iPad Pro? Or is there something better for around $500? Thank you all for your great content. I appreciate that. So, the Hype Mic is an amazing mic for the price. Now, don't get me wrong. It's very portable. It works well with iOS devices. It works well with my iPad as well as it works well with my Mac and my phone. And so if you're looking for convenience and quality, I don't think you can get a better situation from that. Specifically for the fact that it has a headphone out as well, so you can use it not only as a microphone but as an interface. But if you have an interface, you might be able to get a better mic or a mic more suitable for what you're trying to do. If you're a singer-songwriter, you might want to look into maybe a Shure SM7B. That's great for podcasting, great for vocals, great for guitar and all of that. The Apogee Hype mic is a great mic that's small and portable, but at the same time, you could take something like a Neumann KM105, which is a great mic, which is a little bit more than 500, but it's an outstanding durable mic for a lot of different ways that you need to use it. Question is, how do you need a mic and what do you need it for? Jamia Zarzuela
Man, sorry if I mispronounced your name again. Write the perfect amount of consistent content. How often should I post without having a huge following? I have great edited videos or write-ups, but I didn't want to release them to such a small amount when I feel the quality or value is nice and the reach, my return will be low. Listen, when it comes to starting out a YouTube channel, you're just going to have to put stuff out over and over again to the best of your ability. Years on, years out, every day, try to figure out how to get better. And don't worry so much about your following. Don't worry so much about your subscriber content, because they'll come and they will, follow you and subscribe to you over time. The biggest thing is for you to not be afraid to put things out, even when you feel like it's not going to get the reach it's going to deserve. That might be a video that, who knows, becomes very successful later on in its duration of being on your channel. I would say more than anything to just put things into the universe, out there for the world to see, and start cataloging your career, your life, your events through this channel, through this platform, to be able to get better and better over time. And more people will follow you, and then more and more people will go back and watch your older stuff. So don't be afraid. Start putting stuff out today.
I hope you got something out of that. I'm trying to answer as many questions as I possibly could without making this video extremely long. And if you did not get your question answered, or you have a question now, you can always drop it down in the comment section below. So thank you all for tuning in. And like I said before, I always appreciate the support and the love. I'll catch y'all next time. And I'm out.